Hi. I have not uploaded a video in a very long time, so I wanted to do that. I've been under a lot of stress lately. I've been pretty depressed and really anxious. So I'm coming to you today in my pajamas. Woo! Yes. And no makeup, all fresh, whatever, and talking about what's been going on. Months ago, I was sick for about 2 weeks, and I don't do well when I'm sick because I get all depressed because I feel like I can't do anything, and that happened, and then the next thing you know, I was having this pain. Like, I woke up in the middle of the night, like 1 o'clock in the morning, with like my jaw throbbing, and then it just progressively got worse. And it was like always at night that this happened. Like, it would start before I was even in bed, so it wasn't like it was a laying down thing. It was just, it started hurting like after dinner. So then it progressed, and the next thing you know, I was hurting like the whole half side of my face. So I went to the dentist and they said, you need a root canal. And then I got a second opinion and they said, no, you don't need a root canal. You just need it to be shaved down because it was grinding up against other teeth. So I did that and the pain went away for about a week, and then it came back. But it felt like it was coming from my jaw, so I thought maybe it was TMJ. So I went to a chiropractor, and then that didn't really help, so I went to another chiropractor that specializes in TMJ. Specializes in TMJ, and he gave me a really big quote for a year's worth of treatment, and it scared me. Anyway, the pain was just so intense that I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna go have the root canal done. Well, this was like a month worth of figuring out what this thing was, because I had an appointment to get my root canal like a week after my first appointment, but because I was told, no, you don't need a root canal, then I canceled my appointment. And, well, I rescheduled it. I rescheduled it just in case it wasn't what they said it was, and I did need the root canal, but they couldn't see me until like over a month and a half after that first appointment. So I called my dentist finally, and I was like, is there any way I can come in to see you guys earlier? They said, well, no. And I told them how much pain I was in, and they were like, yeah, come in. Like, let's see you now. We'll just have you come in for an emergency visit, like as a walk-in. So they saw me as a walk-in, and I got an emergency root canal done. And the pain went away. But I was still dealing with like residual depression effects from that month and a half long ordeal with being sick and then having the pain in my tooth. So then I got sick again. And so I'm better now, but now more stuff is happening. Yay. So then one of my friend's dads passed away, and we're going to be playing the memorial, Trevor and I, my husband Trevor. And the song that they, that she chose that she's going to be singing at the memorial, that Trevor's going to be playing guitar for it. That was a weird sentence. That song is Leader of the Band, and I'll put a link to it in the description if you haven't heard it. And it really started reminding me of my dad. And so when I showed Trevor the first time, I was like, you know this song. And I put it on and I started singing it. And it reminded me of my dad. And that it fits so well that I'm gonna have to play it at his memorial too. That gave me some serious feelings. And then, of course, I watched Queer Eye, which I was watching it because I was like, I need something that will give me some comfort. And even if I cry, like, I'll feel good about myself. Well, that sort of did that. Queer Eye makes me feel like I'm a big fat slob. Not fat, but a slob. And I don't take care of myself, which is true. So it kind of makes me want to do better, but it also just makes me feel like, shoot. And then I watched the episode Elrod and Sons. If you haven't seen that episode, the guy that they go to see, his wife had passed away, and so he's a single parent of 2 young children. And the combination of all of this gave me some serious memento mori, which is, if you're not familiar with that, it's remember death, or remember dying, or remember you're going to die, or people are going to die, that kind of thing. And I started thinking about my dad, and I started thinking about my husband, and right around that time, my dog woke up in the middle of the night, again around 1 o'clock in the morning, whining in pain and shivering, and he comes up to me and he just curls up on my lap in bed and just shivers and does like nothing. We're like, okay, yeah, maybe he had a bad dream, and we'll just, hopefully this is not anything serious. Fast forward to the next day, and he kept doing it. He would try to jump up at me, and he would like yipe, and he would like hide and shiver. And so I took him to the vet, and he has a luxated patella, which is common of his breed. He's a cockapoo. What a luxated patella is essentially his knee keeps coming out of his socket. And they found that out because they were examining him, and as he was stretching out my dog, whose name is Poof Noodle, by the way, Poof Noodle, he was stretching out Poofy's leg, and it popped back into its socket. So we figured maybe that was it. Maybe. But then he's like, I want to check something else. And so he checked his hips, and on the side that the leg popped in on was fine. But then on the opposite side, he pulled it back, and Poof freaked out. I mean, he tried to bite the guy, even though we had a muzzle on him because he was really, really scared and we were afraid he was going to bite him. He just screamed for like a long time on the table, on the exam table. So he said, we need to get an x-ray of the hip and of the leg, which means we need to get him sedated so that he'll be still during the x-ray. So that's gonna be like, I think over $400, close to $5. And I told the gal, I was like, that is actually the amount of money we don't have in the bank. So we got him a pain shot so that he wasn't in pain then. And then they sent me home with some pain pills for the next like week or so. And then I know he's going to need to be on like fish oil and glucosamine and things like that for the rest of his life. I don't know if he's going to need to be on painkillers the rest of his life or not. I've no clue. But he did, you know, obviously want us to get the x-ray, so we're going to find out a way to get the money together to do that. You know, finances have always been like a very sore spot for me. So that started a lot of depression and anxiety as well, especially because I'm worried about my dog. And then this is leading me to have so much anxiety about things that, things that I love to do. I have a show coming up on April 6th, and I am scared out of my mind. which is crazy because I love performing, but there's just so many moving pieces that I need to figure out. And I'm starting to take responsibility for other people's stuff. Okay? So instead of just letting people take care of what they need to take care of, I'm like, oh, well, do you have this? Do you have that? Did you do this? Did you do that? And it's like, I shouldn't be taking responsibility for other people, and I certainly shouldn't just be keeping it inside, thinking about these things, and thinking, well, you know, just being worried about things for other people. Like, that's not healthy. You know what else isn't healthy? Cheers. Caffeine, probably not the best for my anxiety right now. But caffeine does help me think, being that I also have ADHD. And I will talk about my diagnoses later, along with, I will talk about my medications that I'm on and how I got to be on them, and how my medications actually served to show what diagnoses I have. So, I have some options. So, I already called my doctor's office to see if I can talk to someone. I was on a medication called propranolol, and that was actually to help with migraines that I get. And it lowers your heart rate, and it, I think it decreases your blood pressure. Well, when I was on it, my anxiety was like gone. And apparently they use propranolol as an anti-anxiety medication as well. So I was taken off of it because I was feeling depressed, and it's a possible side effect of it. I'm going to talk to my doctor about going back on propranolol instead of verapamil, which is the migraine medication that I'm taking now, and seeing if that also helps with my anxiety. And then I'll be talking to her too about my depression, which could just be situational. It could be because also the anxiety is causing all these thoughts, which is then giving me depression as well. I'm not really sure. But other action steps that I'm going to be taking, one is I want to start talking more to you guys about everything that's happening, and just really think through some of my thoughts out loud, just externally process them, because that really helps me, and go back into my meditation practice. That really, really helped me. For a long time, I was doing meditation for 10 to 20 minutes every day, and it really does help my brain just being able to, and I'll do another video about this as well, but being able to sit and be quiet for a little while, and to allow the emotions and allow the thoughts to pass by without me fighting them and without me being caught up in them, is really, really helpful, because then I can take that calmness to the rest of my day. Have I been isolating? That's a very good question. Not that anyone asked me. I asked myself the question internally just now. You just didn't hear it. Aha! So I think I have been isolating for a while there. I was going out. I was seeing a lot of people. I was making new friends. And since this happened, I have isolated. But I know some of the things that I need to do to get out of this. And it's partly asking for help. I'm not going to be able to do this on my own. I don't think anyone really can do this in a vacuum. And being there for other people is another huge, huge aspect of this. I will do a video on that as well, of what I'm doing to help other people right now. Wow, a lot of other spin-off videos. I gotta write these down. When I edit, I'll write them down. But helping other people, you know, the other day I put onto Instagram, I said something along the lines of, if you can't see the light in the darkness, be that light. Or if you can't see the rainbow, be the rainbow, which I like. That's nice. And that's one of the things that I'm going to be focusing on, is how to be that light for other people as well as being that light for myself. And another opposite of anxiety is action. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean that I need to be taking action directly on the things that I'm anxious about. Like, for example, if I needed to confront someone about something difficult, my first step may not be to confront that person about something difficult. It may be to meditate, or to write out all my thoughts, or to have a conversation with that person about the fact that I'm feeling anxious about talking to them. I don't need to talk, well, I need to talk to a couple people just to clarify some things, but I don't have like a difficult conversation that I have to talk to someone about, but I do need to tell people when I'm feeling anxious and let people know what state I'm in and how I can relate to them and what state I'm relating them from, so that they get a better idea of where my questions and concerns are coming from. I will also do a furry friend video. I've been meaning to do that for a while, about my doggy. Oh, that's the other thing. When I had my last dog, who oddly enough, my dog now is called Poof Noodle, who is a boy, and a cockapoo. The dog that I had before this was a family dog when I lived at home, and her name was Pookie Pie, only she was half Rottweiler, half Black Lab. So she was quite a bit different dog, very similar name. Anyway, Pookie started having problems with her hip and she started walking funny. So we went in to get an x-ray, and come to find out her bones were essentially like hollow, because she had leukemia. So of course there's thoughts about, is that what's happening to Poof? What exactly is happening with his hip? Is it that he's compensating for his leg, his luxated patella that keeps popping out, and that's why his hip is hurting him? Or is it something different because it just started happening like suddenly? Anyway, guys, I think that's all that I'm going to talk about today. I think I'm going to start doing more videos like this where I'm just coming to you guys real and candid and without like the semi-professional lighting, or not semi-professional. I don't have professional lighting. I do not have semi-professional lighting. I just have lighting. Okay. But I don't have lighting today. As you can probably tell, there's probably grain everywhere around me. Or not. I don't know. But, it's, you know, when I'm in these states, setting up lights, doing my makeup, okay, yeah, just those two things are very difficult. Even doing this is making me feel a lot better. So thank you guys for listening and being there. If you want to see any of the other videos that I've talked about, go ahead and hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit like and comment, please. I love your comments. And until next time, I love you guys. Thanks so much. Mwah.